Alright guys, welcome to the channel. This is going to be the first of hopefully many videos that we're going to upload here. We call ourselves Tama Team. We've been playing Digimon since about BT7, and today I'm going to show you guys my favorite deck. As you can probably tell, it's Machinedramon. I've spent a lot of time cultivating this deck. I've been painstakingly playing it no matter what the meta told me since BT7, and this is my preference. I play the deck a specific way, but let's get right into it. Starting off with the eggs, we're playing 4 Doraemon. I'm sure you could have guessed this one. You can play there's other options. You could play Kyokomon, has good synergy with some of the rookies and level 4s that we're about to get into, but I just like Doraemon. It's just guaranteed draw pretty much every turn. We typically don't want to push up until we're ready to go into our level 6. So I just think it's just a guaranteed draw, especially once you have Chaosdramon X. You're going to be drawing every turn for sure, but that's the egg. Only 4. For the rookies, we are playing 4 copies of Dorumon. You know, a lot of people have decided to cut this all together. Some people play starter deck Agumon. Some people are playing the EX1 Hagurumon. I like Dorumon. Again, we're not going to use the on play. It technically can get you Chaosdramon X Antibody and another copy of Dorumon, but as I'm sure you're aware, we're using it for the inheritable that says anytime a source is tucked, we're going to gain a memory. So we're playing 4 of that. Next up, our last 4 copies of Hagurumon. Hagurumon is basically the answer that this deck has needed. EX1 Hagurumon was great. Being able to draw 2 is always good, but this allows us to thin our deck out, gives us an inheritable, grabs Analog Man. What more can I say? And it actually exists in foil. For the champions, this is a super flexible lineup, obviously. You really can go a lot of ways. I'm opting to play 3 Raremon. I just think the draw that it gives you is so consistent, so good. We never mind just slamming him for 4 if we have to. Yeah, he's great. Counts as a cyborg. The inheritable actually does come up. Can blow up some gatekeepers. Pretty good card. If you can't afford it, you could just play any of the Guardramons. You could play the Airdramon if you're doing the Marvin package. It's really up to you. The last of the level 4s, we're only playing 6, is Hover Espimon. I love this card. I was really skeptical about this card at first. What makes this card so good is it really just has all of the, it hits all the marks for me. It can potentially be paid for 4 costs because the on-play and win it has both an on-play and win digivolving. So sometimes you can just slam it for 4 if you have to. It gives you knowledge of your opponent's security, which is great. It has blocker 99% of the time. It only needs to have 1 player have 1 tamer and it's live. On top of that, it's immune to Death Xmon. It's just a great card. Also counts as a cyborg. We love it. We love Hover SP. Starting to the level 5s, I believe we're playing 15. So first up, we're playing 2 copies of Metal Greymon. This is the only level 5 that we are playing 2 copies of at the moment. I'm sure you guys know what this card does. It is, in my opinion, probably the best level 5 in the deck. It has a win digivolving, de-digivolve 1 of your opponent's Digimon, and then delete an opponent's Digimon with 3000 DP or less. Yeah, I mean, it's not limited to rookies. You can pop any Digimon with 3K. There are quite a few level 4s that have 3K. And then what we're really playing it for is that inheritable that says, while this Digimon is a machine, it can attack your opponent's unsuspended Digimon. And yeah, that's going to be like the primary way to remove in this deck. This is the best. Next up, just going to try to shotgun through these because we are playing a lot of level 5s. We are playing 1 of the new Megadramon from BT15. I have considered going up to 2 on this card. You could really honestly play 3 of this card if you wanted to, especially if you're playing the Marvin package. Spoiler alert, I'm not playing Marvin, but amazing card. It says, on play, when digivolving, reveal the top 3 cards of your deck. Among them, place 1 machine, cyborg, or SOC trait. We're not really playing any SOC traits, but I digress. You may place it as the bottom evolution card and add one such card to the hand, trash the rest. So I mean, right there, it's amazing. It'll allow you to push up your stack earlier, because digivolving into him, he's effectively a 2 cost if you have the Dorumon in the inheritables, because he does tuck a card. On top of that, he just de-digivolves an opponent when you attack. It's great, it's a wonderful card. I've considered going up to 2, but I think 1 is fine. We're playing the Machinedramon blocker from EX4. It has blocker, and then it has blocker as an inheritable. Nothing more to say about it. The when digivolving doesn't matter. We're playing the trio, obviously. The EX1 trio, as they're referred to. You know, I'm sure you know what they do if you're watching this video. They let you reveal the top 3 cards of your deck when digivolving, and you can add a level 6 Digimon with machine in its traits and trash the rest. It's great, it helps you dig for your pieces. It even helps you dig for a special tech card that I'm saving for the end. Blocker as an inheritable, when attacking, pop a 5k as an inheritable, and reboot as an inheritable. Nothing much more to say about that. We are playing one of the BT15 Andromon. Similar to the Machinedramon, it says when digivolving, de-digivolve 1. Great tempo piece, catches people off guard all the time, gives a reboot as an inheritable. Love it. We are playing Machinedramon. One play when digivolving. For each green or black tamer you have, suspend one of your opponent's Digimon. Then one of your opponent's suspended Digimon cannot unsuspend during your opponent's next unsuspend phase. That doesn't really come up as often, but it definitely can, and it's always really good when it does. We mostly play it for the inheritable that says, all turns when this Digimon deletes an opponent's Digimon in battle, trash the top card of the opponent's security stack. Additionally, we are playing Rapidmon. This one just came out in the new starter deck for Terriermon. It's honestly a fantastic card. It's only 7. On play when digivolving, de-digivolve 1. The rest of the card doesn't really matter because it procs if you have a green tamer. We're not playing any green tamers. But just like the Machinedramon, same inheritable. When this Digimon deletes an opponent's Digimon in battle, all turns, trash the top card of their security stack. So being able to tuck these both at the same time puts a lot of pressure on your opponent. Alright, down to the last few. We are playing Machinedramon from the starter deck. Has blocker and security attack +1 as inheritable. Pretty simple. And then we are playing Machinedramon from EX1 that on play, delete up to 2 opponents Digimon with 3000 DP or less. Does come up. You know, not too often, but again, when it does come up, it hits. Being able to pop 2 bodies on play, a lot of people just don't see it coming. But again, we are playing it for the inheritable that it gives security attack +1. We are also playing Machinedramon from EX1. When attacking, pop a 4K. Again, doesn't come up as often, but it can, and when it does, it's great. Has piercing as an inheritable. Gotta love it. We're playing Machinedramon from BT1. It has security attack +2, and when attacking, lose 5 memory. I don't think I've ever in my life attacked with the card. I've hard played it before because I had nothing better to do, especially back in the BT7, you know, EX2 back in the day. But we're just playing it for that extra +3k DP as an inheritable. It's also a 9k, it's a pretty big body. But again, we're just playing it for the inheritable. Last level 5 is going to be the BT9 Machinedramon. This card used to be a lot more relevant than it is now. It's still great. Honestly, goes up to 2 and back down to 1 every time I'm tweaking my deck. I think we're comfortable at 1 in the current meta. It says when digivolving, delete a Digimon or Tamer with a play cost 3 or less, and then the same thing as an inheritable. So really good. Again, a great tempo card. It usually comes up. I think 1 is fine. You can absolutely play 2 if you find the room for it. I'm playing 1. On to the level 6s. We are actually playing quite a bit in this deck. First off, probably the best card in the entire deck. We are playing 4 copies of Chaosdramon. I think this is a mandatory 4 of. Some people play 3. I think that's crazy. I think you need to max out on this card. It is just absolutely bonkers good. On play and when digivolving, you can tuck up to 3 level 5 black and red cyborgs with different card numbers, and then de-digivolve 1 for each, up to 1 Digimon, so you can't spread the de-digivolve. Still great though. And then this gives you the protection of all turns when this Digimon would be deleted or returned to your hand or deck. You may trash 2 level 5 cards in this Digimon's Digivolution to prevent the card from leaving play. So there are still some effects that get around this, of course. Your Lonkies, your Chaos Degrades, your Hunters, Tamer tucking and things like that. But for the most part, when you're able to build up a good stack with this card, that's when the outcome of the game is pretty much determined. I love this card. Amazing. We are playing 2 copies of the, sorry for the glare. We are playing 2 copies of the BT-15 Machinedramon. Again, there were some times where I considered cutting this card to max out on EX1 because we did get the new Supreme Connection option card. I have actually opted out of that card. I think it's probably the best searcher that we've gotten for the deck, but I like to build my stack, and I just, in my play testing, committing to slamming a level 5 or level 6 with the Supreme Connection bottlenecked me into certain plays, and I just feel like the deck is more consistent when you're able to build the stack, and this card is great. It digs 5 deep on digivolving and when on play, so you get to reveal the top 5 cards, you get to tuck a cyborg or machine into the traits, doesn't have to be level 5, any cyborg or machine, and then, or add 1 to your hand, and then you also get to add Analog Man. And that part is really important as well, because on deletion, if you have an Analog Man in play, you get to return the Analog Man to the bottom of the deck to play out a Machinedramon. Ideally, that is going to be the EX1 Machinedramon. This card is the OG. It's the reason. It's the reason for the whole deck. I mean, I wish I could play more of it, but the deck has evolved in a way that I think 2 is perfect. You don't have to play it with the Machinedramon effect from BT11. That's like magical fairy Christmas land. If it does happen, I mean, you're probably winning that game, gaining 5 memory, ending the turn, get a free body, ton of sources. That's best case scenario. But on its own, I'm sure you know what it does if you're watching this video. It's effectively a 7 cost, assuming you have 5 sources in hand or trash. You get to tuck up to 5 black and or red level 5 cyborg Digimon, and you gain a memory for each card placed, so it's effectively 7 cost. Can have his DP reduced, which is big. DP reduction is really powerful in this format. Not too many people playing, at least in my meta, playing Shine Greymon anymore, but it definitely comes up and the deck is very fast. Being able to build a stack, let's say with Chaosdramon X Antibody, and being able to place this underneath as a source, basically prevents them from winning in that matchup. Heaven's Judgment, I mean, there's a lot of DP reduction, and it definitely comes up. And then if it would be deleted, similar to the Chaosdramon, you can trash 2 level 5s to prevent it. Next up, we have 2 copies of Chaosdramon X Antibody. Card's awesome. I was so happy when they spoiled this card. I cannot wait for the alt art to come out in the limited pack too. So this is a 13K. It digivolves for 2 on top of your Machinedramon or your Chaosdramon, and it says, at the start of your main phase, you can place any Digimon with Cyborg or Machine, not limited to level, as its bottom Digivolution sources. All turns, it gains all effects of all Machinedramon and Chaosdramon. So like I was saying, if at some point they out your Machinedramon, or you trash it to a Raremon, or any of your other effects, you get to start your turn, tuck it underneath, trigger your Dorumon potentially, and now your stack can't be removed, can't be returned to your hand, can't be returned to deck, can't be deleted, can't have its DP reduced. It's a pretty hard stack to get rid of. Now this last level 6, this is that spicy tech I was talking about earlier. Some of you probably could have guessed what it was, maybe not. I love this card. In my testing, it's always come up. I keep thinking that it's too spicy and I need to cut it, but every time I play, it always works. It's Mega Gargamon Ace. Honestly, in my opinion, it's a broken card. It's so good. You get to Blast Digivolve, which I think this deck is lacking. That option, and it catches people off guard every time. Has blocker, has reboot, suspends to Digimon or Tamers, they don't unsuspend. When Digivolving, you get to unsuspend, and at end of attack, you get to unsuspend. I mean, the value is crazy. We love this card. This can be a memory setter, maybe another one of the level 5s that you want to play 2 of. It's a flex spot, as they say. I love this though, and I can't see myself cutting it anytime soon. Alright, we're down to the last few cards in the deck. We only play 4 Tamers, and surprise, surprise, that Tamer is Analog Man. What can I really say? It's amazing. It costs 4. At the start of your main phase, you can trash a level 5 Cyborg to gain a memory and draw 1, which always is great. And then opponent's turn, anytime an opponent's Digimon attacks a player, not a Digimon unfortunately, but if they attack you, you can suspend this Tamer to switch the target to one of your level 6 machines. It just helps you build a wall. It helps you dig through your deck. It helps you gain memory to make plays. It's just, it lets you play out Machinedramons. It's just the best. We love Analog Man. Next up is another point of contention. A lot of people look at me like I have 3 heads when I tell them. I am playing 4 copies of Black Memory Boost. I am playing it over the Supreme Connection. I know I'm probably going to get a lot of hate in the comments. Why aren't you playing Supreme Connection? It's so good. I agree, it is good. But I like being able to have the versatility of getting 2 memory in any capacity that I want. Maybe I want the 2 memory to raise in the back. Maybe I need the 2 memory to pop off that turn by Digivolving. Maybe I need the 2 memory to be able to play out the Analog Man and keep turn while I Digivolve into a Machinedramon. It's just the options that that give this card the edge in my opinion, and the art is just, I mean, the art is so good. And then the last 2 cards is 2 copies of Attack of the Heavy Mobile Digimon. This is like our hybrid for game. In security, it does let us pop a Digimon by trashing a Cyborg or Machine. You get to delete a Digimon equal to the play cost of that trash card. But for 0, it lets you trash a card with Cyborg or Machine in its traits to have all your level 6 Digimon with Machine gain Rush, and on play, if it has a Digivolution card, Blitz. This will let us Machinedramon for game at 1 memory. It lets us Machinedramon EX1 for game at 2 memory. Sometimes you just give your opponent 10 memory and you just swing with Chaosdramon and de-Digivolve their thing and pop their stack. It's just great. I think 2 is fine. I was running 3 for a while, but I think 2 is great. You can probably play like, you know, any amount of Supreme Connection and Memory Boost and this, maybe go 3 and 3. It's really up to you. But yes, this is my Max Rarity Machinedramon deck. It is a passion of mine. I love this deck so much. Love Machinedramon, and I hope you guys enjoyed the video.